guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It's 9 o'clock on a Friday, which means it's time for a mat test. That's right, we're back here. Another week, another mat test. Now, if you've never seen a mat test before, it is rapidly becoming one of the most popular videos on the channel. The idea is that I have a guy in my office called Matt. Now, Matt is in the sales department, and obviously, he's worked here for years. He's seen a lot of magic. We have a lot of magicians come and go from the offices all the time. He's seen some of the best magicians in the world. He loves magic, but he doesn't actually perform magic himself. But he has seen magic enough that he kind of has an idea of what's going on in different type of things. However, he is a layperson. So I find it very interesting when I perform a trick to Matt and then I get his opinion on what he thinks the trick's like. Matt wears his heart on his sleeve, and what I mean by that is if he sees something and he loves it, he will absolutely freak out better than any L&L audience member you've ever seen. However, if he doesn't like something, he'll be very clear and articulate and say why he doesn't like something. There's been tricks in the past that I've shown Matt to and I thought he would love them and he hasn't liked them. And there's been tricks that I've shown him before and I thought, I don't think he's going to like this. And he's loved it. So it's kind of a very interesting test. And this week, we're going to be looking at Awesome, that's AWE-SUM, Awesome by Joel Harbers. Now, Awesome has been reviewed this week on the Craig and Ryland review show. So if you haven't actually seen it, go and check out the review show that went up on Wednesday. Ryland actually performed it for me. Ryland's also filmed it to go up on his Instagram channel as well. And basically, what it is it's a 2x2 Rubik's Cube with numbers printed on it. And it allows you to do some really crazy routines. Now, the project comes with about 5 or 6 different routines. But the main routine is kind of like a cross between an open prediction and an any card at any number. And I've shown Matt quite a few any card at any numbers before. Some of them he hasn't really liked that much. So it's going to be a very interesting test to see whether Matt likes this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little set together. So I'm going to take 2 of the routines off the Awesome project and put them together. The first one that I'm going to do is kind of like a prediction of a freely randomly generated number, and then I'm going to go into the actual CAAN. So let's have a look at the performance first of all and have a look at me performing these routines to Matt, and also let's get Matt's opinion on what he thinks of the trick. Awesome. I'm here with Matt.
Hello.
How you doing, Matt? You okay?
Awesome.
Awesome. Good stuff. I shouldn't have told you the name of the trick before I sat you down to film, should I? Now you're just going to make jokes about it. I'm going to show you something with a deck of cards. And this is a 2x2 Rubik's Cube.
Okay.
Now, it's, you know, like when you see Ryland do a 3x3, and he says there's something like 47 quintillion different combinations.
Yeah.
A 2x2 doesn't have as many combinations. It's not 47 quintillion. I think it's something like 22 million combinations. So it's still a lot. Now, the difference with this is there's numbers on each side.
Yeah.
And when you mix it up, it mixes up the numbers. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We're going to come back to that in a bit. I also have a pack of cards. There's this red card here. And then we've got a blue deck. All the cards are there. All the cards are different. Now, the blue deck we're going to be using in a second, but the red card I'm going to put right there underneath that card box. That's going to be my prediction. That's going to be the big finish to all of this stuff.
Okay.
Okay. Now, first thing is I want you to give give that half of the pack of... well, actually, start off with this half. Give this half a shuffle, first of all. It's really important that you mix them up and make sure they're in no particular order. If you want to spread through and make sure they're all the same, that's absolutely fine. Just make sure that everything is okay and above board and fancy free. Is that okay? You happy?
You have the master the shuffle now.
Yeah,
right?
well, yeah. I mean, you did a really good shuffle, right? And you're gonna shuffle. You're gonna shuffle those as well.
Oh, okay. This is where it all goes terribly wrong.
No, it's fine.
You just told me that I did a good job.
You know, last time I did a mat test with you, you said that it wasn't fair and the cards weren't shuffled beforehand. So I'm making a big deal of you shuffling these so you don't piss me off again.
Oh, mate, are you taking things personally?
No, not at all. Are you happy?
Yeah.
Stick it on there.
On top.
Yeah, go for it. So we're going to get back to those, but please make sure that I don't change the order of the deck. It's going to stay exactly how you shuffled it, all right?
Okay.
Now, we're going to do a couple of things with this cube. When you mix it up, if you add up all of the numbers on one side, it will change depending on how you mix it. So this would be a 4 and 1 is 5. That's 15. But if I changed it like that, now there's 6, 10, 30. Do you know what I mean? It's different every single time. So I'm going to look away. What I want you to do is randomly mix the cube. And when you're happy and you don't want to mix it anymore, pick a side, add up the amount of numbers on that side, add up the total numbers on that side, then put it down so the side that you've added up is pointing down towards the mat. Okay. That way I'm not going to be able to see anything. Okay?
Okay.
So you take your time. I'm going to look this way and I'm going to talk absolute crap while you do this. Because it's really important to me that you understand that this is a completely free choice and you can keep mixing until you want. But bearing in mind, we've ordered sandwiches for breakfast and Jack is picking them up and he's filming this thing. So bear that in mind.
The perks of working for Craig, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely. Digital marketing and sandwich distribution. Are we done? Obviously, we're going to have to factor in quite a bit of time because Matt can't add up. Okay, are we good?
Done it. I was showing the people.
And put your hand on it. Concentrate on the number. There's no way I could know the number, right?
I wouldn't have thought so.
Because I was looking that way the entire time. You mixed this up however you wanted to. Then you put it down so it's facing down. And I haven't even looked at it. You put your hand on it. There's no way I could know. Concentrate on the number. Okay. What I want you to do is I want you to think of the number. And in your head, when I snap my fingers, I want you to start counting from 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, at that speed. And stop when you get to the number you're thinking of. Start counting now.
Okay.
Okay, hang on, this is interesting. I think I've got it. You're thinking of the number 11. Is that right?
Yeah.
Now, seriously, think about this. I mean, obviously, you picked the number 11, but if you picked this side or this side, it would have been completely different. But if you'd even turned it one more time, that would have been 12. It would have been a completely different number. But let's see if we can go one step further. Mix it up again. Mix it up again. And when you're happy, pick a side and put it down without adding it up. Don't worry about adding it up. But when you're happy, pick a side and put it down so the side that you've selected is on the table. You don't have to cover it up this time. We're going to get back to that number in a bit. Now, it's really important that you make all the decisions. And again, I refer you to the previous map test where I said you have to make all the decisions, and you turned around to me and said there were really no decisions to make.
Yeah.
There is a decision to make here. Would you like to stay with that side at the bottom, or would you like to change your mind? Would you like to mix it up some more? Crap.
So much lack of trust.
Do you want to do it again? Are you okay? That total number at the bottom is what you want, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. It's really important that you make all the decisions on this. Right? Yeah, and the reason I'm using this crazy cube thing to do this is because a lot of the time when people think of numbers, and you ask them to think of a number, they go psychologically for certain numbers that are psychologically desirable. But this is going to completely randomize this. But I don't want you saying later on when I ask you about this trick, I made you pick that number on the bottom. If you want to look at it and then change it again, you can. Or if you're happy with that number, that's cool.
No, let's stick with that one.
Okay. So, here's what you're going to do in a second. I'm going to give you the deck that you shuffled completely, right? Yeah. And you're going to add up the numbers on the bottom. So, for example, this would be 5 plus 4 is 9, plus 1 is 10, plus 2 is 12.
Yeah.
And you're going to pick up the deck and you're going to deal exactly 12 cards. So, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And that's what you're going to do. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But obviously not with that number, because that number we're looking at this number. So let's add it up first of all. So we've got a 6 and a 5. What's 6 add 5?
11.
Plus 3?
14.
Plus 2?
16.
Okay. So pick up the deck and deal 16 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Bearing in mind, you shuffle these cards thoroughly. And I told you to shuffle them from the very beginning. And I said, look, I'm not going to touch them. I didn't touch them after you shuffled them. You put the deck back together. And then I said, I'm not going to touch it, which I haven't. You then picked a number. You changed your mind. You went back and forth, but we ended up on 16. This would have been 8.
Yeah.
Every side is totally different. I put this red card here from the very beginning. And I said, it's a prediction. I said, it's going to be the big finale to the whole thing. This is the 8 of diamonds. And this card right here is the 4 of diamonds, which you might think is wrong. But it's not.
It isn't?
No, because I told you to deal 16 cards down onto the table, didn't I?
Yeah.
The next card would be the 1.
What?
You can examine everything. You can look at everything. You can check that out. You can look at those, at this, at everything. So what do you think?
Yeah, it's not like... I don't know.
You don't know. What do you think of it? Because obviously you made some points about that. This is, in a way, it's kind of another one of those any card at any number tricks. But it's not. I think that adding this makes it really entertaining.
I've never even seen one of those before.
Oh, Ryland's got like 10 of them.
I'm sure he has.
It's a 2x2 Rubik's Cube. It's like the first cube that you learn to solve. Before you go into the 3x3s and the 4x4s and the 6x6s. It's a normal Rubik's Cube. It's just got numbers printed on them. And I think that this prop makes this thing so much more entertaining because now there's a visual reminder of how they could have made different decisions.
Yeah, 100%. And like I was looking to see if like the numbers on the top matched the numbers on the bottom every time, but they don't.
No.
So I don't know. I thought the numbers might have had the numbers on the cube might have had something to do with it, the way that.
I think they've just randomly been put on there because the thing is, you can mix it in any direction. That's the point.
Yeah,
of the
and
Rubik's
it's
Cube.
like the top doesn't match the bottom or anything.
No.
So when I put it down like that, if you can like read the numbers on the top, they will always match what's on the bottom.
Yeah.
But they don't.
No. And also, you actually thoroughly shuffle the deck.
I thoroughly shuffle the deck. Why was the deck in two halves? Why did I have to shuffle
Well,
it in two halves?
normally, what I do, it's a little bit like that one that I showed you a little while ago, shuffleboard. Normally, I like to get two people involved.
Right, yeah.
So you were just playing the role of two people in this.
Was that a mistake when you pulled the 4?
Pardon?
Was it a mistake when you pulled the 4?
If it was, did I cover it well?
That's Craig's way of saying yes.
Well, I don't know. I mean, what's the odds? It'd be half the 8 and a diamond as well.
I mean, that was lucky, I think.
No. It was pure skill.
Yeah.
Played for and got. But yeah, what's your feedback
like
on it?
it.
Do you like it? Is it an entertaining trick?
It is.
Where is it compared to other tricks like this that you've seen?
I mean, I haven't seen one of those before. I know Ryland's got like a gazillion of them.
But if you brought this as, if you were at a gig, if you were, you saw a magician and you were there as a punter, and somebody came out and did this, would you kind of think, oh, I haven't seen one of those before? That's
yeah,
weird.
100%. That's. I mean, as soon as I sat down and saw it, I was like, I haven't seen one
So
of
is
those
it
before.
intriguing?
That's cool. Yeah.
Because some magicians will go, I know, I've read it online, some magicians go, oh, you shouldn't do this trick because this looks like a weird object and you shouldn't introduce a weird object into a magic trick.
Why?
Yeah, that's my point as well.
Why would you not introduce weird objects into magic tricks?
I agree.
Magic's weird. It's supposed to be weird.
It is meant to be weird, yeah.
The weirder the better, isn't it?
Yeah. So it completely fooled you. You've got nowhere to go. Like the trick that we did last week, you were kind of like, oh, I didn't get to shuffle the deck and I didn't get to make all the decisions and you asked me the suit beforehand. Do you have anywhere to go with this?
No. No.
Because it fooled
You do
me,
make good
and fooled me and Ryland as well.
I shuffled the deck, both halves of the deck, put them together. You did it first, but I don't understand how that would have made any difference. When you pick the numbers and then deal 12 and then put the rest of the deck
You could
back
have
on
dealt.
top.
You could have dealt at that point if you wanted to. I didn't have
And
to,
that wouldn't have
so-
made any difference.
No.
That's the only thing that I looked when you did it, and I was like, oh, okay.
No, I
so
could
it's
have. I
gonna
could
put
have.
them back
No,
on the top
I could
then.
have given those to somebody else to do. I was just demonstrating what to do with your number.
Not a clue.
Is it entertaining?
Yeah, I like
Did
it.
you find it entertaining?
Yeah, if somebody brought that out at a gig, and I was out watching magic and somebody brought that out, I'd be like, that's pretty cool. Because I don't think there's many people that would have, that's not into Rubik's Cubes and magic and that isn't a 9-year-old son of a magician would. Have you seen one of those before?
No. I mean, looking at it, I thought that's something you get in school.
And don't forget as well, I did the little thing at the beginning where I had you think of a number and I told you the number.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was just a little... Of course, this is actually a project. It's more than just this trick. There's a bunch of stuff in there. There's about 6 tricks with it. That first trick that I did is a trick in its own right.
Yeah, I forgot about that. No, I don't know how you did that. I feel like a lot of the time now I can kind of like, I've got to get in the general gist of it, but that I haven't got a clue. I don't know how that's done at all.
Yeah? You like it?
I like it. It's a really good trick. Who's done? Is that you?
No, it's not me. Nothing to do with me. I can't remember the creator's name. It's terrible, but it's called Awesome. AWESUM. Awesome. So, but it's a really good trick.
AWESUM.
Awesome.
Clever.
Summy.
That's clever. I got it. When you spelled it, I got it.
I was trying to help.
No, I like it. It's really good. I think like I don't understand the whole don't bring weird objects into tricks, because that's the kind of thing that people are going to remember. Like if you're out doing a gig and you're walking around tables and stuff and you're doing a bunch of tricks to people are going to go, oh, did you see the one he did with that weird little Rubik's Cube thing? That's the kind of thing that people are going to remember.
And the nice thing is, if you're doing card tricks and you bring this out to do that trick, you can then say, well, you know what? Let's do something with a bigger Rubik's Cube, and it gives you a reason to then put the cards away and go into
move on
cube
to
tricks.
something else. Yeah. But yeah, I think doing stuff like that is what people are going to remember having weird things like looks. If you've got
love that, don't you?
Yeah, I fucking love that trick. People are going to be like, he put UV on me and he's got this UV pen and blah blah blah, and it gives a way to explain the trick.
Yeah.
It gives somebody that doesn't know anything about magic something to base the explanation off of. Oh, we have this little weird Rubik's Cube thing, and then we counted some cards and blah, 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 blah. But it's the kind of thing that that's what people are going to start saying when they're explaining to other people what the trick is.
Yeah.
Oh, we have this little weird Rubik's Cube thing. Oh, we have this like really weird fucking UV pen thing. Oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what people are going to say, because that's what's going to stick in their heads.
I agree. I totally agree with you.
So yeah, I think bringing weird stuff into magic tricks is...
So one last time, you compared the trick that we did last week to the quantum deck, and you said you preferred the quantum deck because it was a blank deck and it was a free choice of number.
Yeah.
What about this? Because it's not a free choice of number. You're not saying a number. They're generating a free choice of number.
It is a free choice of number, isn't it? Because I can turn that as many times as I want, and I don't know until I've stopped turning it.
And that's what I like about it. They don't even know the number. They know it's a free choice, but they don't even know the number.
Yeah.
It's a complete surprise to them as well as everyone else.
Until I've stopped turning it, I don't know what the number on the top is going to be. So how can you?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Because it's different every time you turn it. So how could anybody possibly know what that's going to be until you finish turning it? Because it's different, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it is a free choice. And I mixed up the cards as many times as I wanted to.
Yeah.
And I mixed them up a lot.
Yeah.
I think more than most people would have done, because they're nervous that somebody's watching them, so they're just like, there you go.
Yeah.
I did that a lot.
Yeah. Cool.
And then you just pick the number, count down,
and it's there.
And it's a good trick, man. It's a good trick. It is. I have no idea how that's done. It's not a trick. It can't be a trick deck because I shuffled it. Yeah, I don't know, man. Any ideas?
No.
You're never helpful.
You're the expert in this stuff.
How am I an expert? I'm here purely because I'm not.
I think he tells me his secrets.
You spend loads of time in this room with him. He's got to let out some secrets.
Yeah, I keep my headphones in most of the time.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Well,
no, I like it. It's a good trick.
Thank you, Matt.
Whoever made it.
Yeah,
well done.
Well done.
It's awesome.
There you go. So there you go. Now, I found that really interesting. I found that really fascinating because the week before, if you look at last week's map test, I actually did Bergfast from the Fast Project. And I alluded to it in the performance to Matt, but he wasn't particularly impressed with it. And it was because he was trying to deconstruct the routine. He's seen a lot of CAANs, he's seen a lot of open prediction type tricks. And he was trying to point out that in Bergfast, it wasn't as fair in terms of the decisions that were being made. He didn't really have a decision to make. And he was also very unhappy that the deck was random, wasn't shuffled, and it was just literally put down and not touched. This is a totally different scenario. He absolutely loved this trick. Like, since filming, I've spoken to him about it again, and he absolutely loves it. He's got no idea how it's done, like absolutely no clue. And I do think that routining those two tricks together, where you first of all predict the number and then you go into the any card at any number, I think that's a really nice way to do this particular routine. And you saw from Matt, I think this, you know, we perform sometimes to spectators, we perform sometimes to audiences where there are people that are trying to figure out the trick, and that's absolutely fine. You know, I work for a lot of companies where there's like technicians and engineers, and they'll try and deconstruct everything that you do. I think this is one of those tricks where the more you think about it, the more impossible it is, because it's a principle that's so well hidden, and it's layered, and there's layers upon layers upon layers, that, you know, I think that no one's going to have a chance of figuring out how it works. You know, when I first saw this trick, I was fooled. When I first showed this to Ryland was fooled. So I think if you're ever worried about performing tricks to laymen and having them work out how it's done, I don't think that's going to be an issue with this trick. And also, I do agree with what Matt said, which is bringing out this little 2x2 Rubik's Cube kind of adds interest, it adds intrigue. It makes it more than just a card trick, when in essence, really the only reason that Rubik's Cube is there is to have them pick a number in a seemingly very random way. Bringing that cube out adds to the routine, and I thought it would take away from it. Before I reviewed this project, I did the podcast with Lloyd Barnes. It was a couple of weeks ago now, and I actually talked about this. Lloyd said, "Have you seen this?" And I was like, "No, I haven't." And I looked at the trailer, and I said, I don't know if that's going to play in the real world, because, you know, why are you bringing this little Rubik's Cube out? Isn't it just like forcing them into a particular number? But having now performed with it in the real world, and having now performed it a few times, I can say that's absolutely not the case at all. It really adds an extra layer of impossibility to the routine. And this is something that sits in my pocket and I'm going to carry on doing for a very long time. So there you go. It's Awesome by Joel Harbers. It's highly recommended. You can go back and check out the Craig and Ryland review show from Wednesday if you want to see a full review. But bottom line, guys, it's awesome. So there you go, guys. That is another mat test in the bag. Do me a favour. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you want to see more mat tests? Are there particular routines you would like to see on the mat test? Please let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you want to see more videos like this, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe. And if you haven't checked out the NETRIX yet, please do so. The link's down in the description. It's www.thenetrix.com. I don't shout about it all the time, but it is something I'm very passionate about. And, you know, for everyone that's ever said, hey, I'd like to support the channel, how can I do that? Just go check out the NETRIX and try it out and see what you think, because I love it. And, you know, more and more people are coming on board every single week. Anyway, I'm going to be back again tomorrow with a stack load more videos, including an interview with the one and only Michael Eaton, which is a fantastic interview. Look out for that. And yeah, I'll see you again soon. Thanks very much for watching. My name's Craig from Magic TV.